What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Lewis, and today we have a special guest, Jeff Ellis, Motiv brand ambassador.
Absolutely.
And today we are going to combine to review the all-new Motiv Subzero Forge. Before we get into any of that, guys, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you like the way Jeff throws it, and if you've never seen him throw it, you're gonna like it. Follow him on Instagram.
That's right.
At HebrewHammer300. Go ahead and give him a follow, support him. Maybe we can get him to keep coming back on a few more videos. And if you like the jersey I'm wearing, not his, even though I told him I'm gonna steal his design, go to coolweek.com, promo code Napoles10, get you 10% off your entire order. Then down below in the description, there's gonna be a link where you can order a Subzero Forge or the ball spinners or anything bowling related. You guys already know the drill. All right, so I'm gonna talk about the core, Jeff's gonna talk about the cover. It features the detonator weight block, which is the same weight block that's been on all the Forges, and in 15 pounds is an RG of 2.47 and a max differential of 0.055.
This ball has the Leverage MXC cover, and it comes out at 2,000.
So it is a super strong cover, a lot of surface. I'm expecting that this ball is going to be super early, super smooth. When I saw this ball, the first thing I thought about was the Forge Flare from way back in the day. You guys remember when I was on Motiv staff back in the day? That thing was super early, and I'm expecting kind of that same kind of motion. You've already thrown yours.
I have. It is by far the strongest symmetrical ball I've ever thrown, and we are also getting a lot of the same Forge Flare recs and comps.
Yeah. And, you know, he's a staffer, and he's supposed to say that it's the strongest symmetric ball ever, but I believe it because when I threw the Forge Flare, that thing was crazy strong.
Super strong,
yeah.
super strong.
So the layout for me is the same layout that I use on everything, 30 by 4.5 by 30. What about yours?
Mine's 45 by 5.5 by 20.
Nice.
Really focusing on getting this ball down the lane, storing that energy.
Yeah, I probably would have done something similar if it wasn't like my normal tester layouts, but it is what it is. We're gonna be here at South Point on lane 63 on a fresh, typical house shot.
Starting at about 32, me tossing right about 15, 16 board is where I'm looking with my eyes.
Hey.
Oh! Took it out. I love that shot. Missed a little bit in. We're gonna see what it looks like in a couple.
All right, so Jeff said he was at 32. He's actually at 37. I'm at 25, so I'm 12 boards right of him, and I'm playing much straighter through the fronts than he is. And for me, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a ball that's gonna be super early and be super smooth down lane. And so I think that this is gonna end up being a really good video because he's a super high rev rate player and I'm not, right? So it's gonna be a good test as to, you know, determine if you're a lower rev rate player or higher rev rate player. I think that this can be a benchmark type ball for either one of those. The one thing I worry is if it's too smooth when I have to move in.
Again, I'm at 37. Let's get it right, Jeff. All right. We're okay with it sliding a little inside. Just get it flush off my hand. That looked good.
Hey. Yeah, this guy strikes a lot.
A lot of strikes. Really like the movement in the back end. Let's see if we can knock them all down all at once, though.
All right, so we'll say that Jeff has a little bit more rev rate than me. But I like that even though our games are completely different, this ball's still looking pretty good here on a fresh, typical house shot. I'm gonna stay right where I'm at. I'm not gonna move that far left. Oh, see, you kicked out the 10, I left the 10. I think that's still a pretty good shot. Again, that's what I fear with balls that are this strong, this smooth. I need to get it into the friction. I probably missed in like 1 or 2 boards and it just kind of sat in that oil. For me, balls that are like this strong, symmetric solids need to get into that friction a little bit. So on the next shot, I'm just gonna make sure that I get it going into that friction.
Right at 35. I don't like when pins are hanging around. So we're gonna try and keep it the same spot, about 16, 15 board. That was out.
Up the lane. Hey, we both 10-pin.
That tells me everything. I missed right, didn't have enough energy, hit where I wanted it to.
That's exactly what I was gonna ask. You missed right on that one?
Missed right.
Yeah. All right, so coming off that 10 pin, I'm just gonna make sure I get this one going a little bit more up the lane and not so much in. And if I do that, it should strike. Oh, okay, so that
Nice
went
takeout. Nice takeout.
Yeah, that was super high. So on my next shot, I'm gonna start to chase it in. I don't think I'll ever create huge angles with this ball, but on the next shot, I'm for sure gonna increase that angle a little bit through the front.
Okay, we really want to stick on 35. I like that angle, but we need to keep this more in front of myself. So again, a 15 board is as far as I want this ball to hit. Missed again, but took it out.
Good shot.
These balls really have a nice drive to the pocket and a good continuation, so it took it out even though I missed about a board right.
All right, so I'm gonna move in off that last shot, like 2 or 3 boards, maybe 2 and 2 or 3 and 2. And then after the shot, I'll talk about when I can see myself really using this Subzero Forge. Oh, got that right.
Come on, ball, come on back.
Yeah, if I miss right, this ball ain't coming back. But when I can see myself throwing this ball is on the fresh, when I have to keep my angles a little bit more shut down, and definitely when there's more volume. The more volume, the better for this Subzero Forge, because I'll be able to keep my angles a little bit shut down. The last shot I threw, it went super high, and then while I did miss right on this last shot, it did not even dream about hooking for me. So on this next shot that I throw, I'm gonna make sure that I shut my angle down a little bit, but still from further in.
Let's see where we're at. Looks really good. Miss right, strikes, misses in. Probably gonna strike 35, 15, 16. Wow.
Oh, that hooked.
Yeah. That one, I could feel it off my hand. It was a little bit slower ball speed, and I probably got a little too far under it. That's the part of the game, just realizing what you're doing wrong.
What's the next move off that?
Next move.
Is it just faster?
Just making sure that I'm fast at the bottom.
Okay.
Because it was too slow.
Okay, all right. All right, so I'm gonna stay a little left, like 3 from where I started, but on this shot here, I'm gonna make sure that I don't shove it right. I'm really trying to hit like 7, 8, 9, or maybe like 8, 9, 10 down lane. And I think if I do that, it's gonna strike here.
Hold ball.
Yeah, and even that went a little bit high, but I'm not going to move left off that because I was trying to hit like 8, 9, 10, and that was closer to 10. So I think that really I should be trying to hit like 8, 9 down lane. If I do that, it's gonna be exactly what I'm looking for from a benchmark type ball. Now, am I gonna throw this on a house shot as is with the 2000? No. I think for me, it's way too strong. It forces me left and it's too smooth. However, I think if I hit it with like a 3 or 4,000 pad, I think it could be a really good option on the fresh on a house shot. But this is gonna be one of those balls that I'm not gonna throw all the time, but when I go to throw like on a sport shot, a little heavier pattern, maybe a little bit longer of a pattern, I think that this is gonna be.
I'm gonna move a half board, so I'm about 35 and a half. It's a game of inches, guys. And we're gonna try and grip it and rip it. Come on, ball. There we go.
Did you get that right, or that was?
That was maybe a tad right,
That
but
looked good though.
Looked good off the hand, felt good off the hand. This ball, for me, I need to create some angles. It's really nice and smooth, but it takes out the back row, which is big.
Now, when do you see yourself throwing this Subzero Forge?
I could easily throw this, unlike you, I could easily throw this game 1.
On a house shot?
On house shot. But I feel like this is even better on like a sport pattern with a lot of volume. The key word is the volume, because it's so strong. I also might manipulate it a little bit, put some polish on it, and give it a higher grit. That's also something I might do too.
Nice. All right. All right, so I'm gonna go back to that same spot. And instead of hitting 10, I'm gonna try to hit like 8, 9 down lane, just a little bit right. See if it comes off it and see if it's not too high like that last shot was.
Into the oil.
Yeah, there we go. I thought that was gonna miss, and it picked up exactly where I needed it. And a shot like that is definitely more repeatable than the one where I went super high. Did I go super high and start 490 and stuff like that? Absolutely not. I think now I'm in a really good spot.
I'm gonna move left with my feet. I was at 35 and a half. I'm gonna go to 38. Actually, 39. Maybe I'll go to 40 by the time we're done here. In between the third and fourth arrow, where I'm looking.
Oh. Hey, that hooked. Woo. What happened there?
That hooked a lot. I got a little too far under it, and the speed wasn't correct. We're gonna stay in the same spot. We're gonna try that again. We'll see what it looks like.
Is that your typical miss? Is your typical miss slow?
Typical miss is slow, especially if I'm switching around, if I'm opening up my angles a little bit, drops the speed down. Not usually leaving that.
Yeah, because no, I asked because my typical miss is right. And
So, 39 board, between third and fourth arrows, matching that speed up with the revs. That felt good.
10 back. Oh, that hooked. That's what I get for talking.
Yeah, right?
All right, so just for craps and giggles, I'm going to move left to where Jeff is, except I am going to have to super slow hook this ball, I think. So let's tap into our little slow hook trick here.
Here comes the ball.
Oh! Hey! I could do it too.
That's BEA beautiful.
That's BEA beautiful, except that was like 2 miles an hour slower. Actually, that didn't look too bad. I think that if I could do that on a heavier or a longer volume pattern, I think that might actually be pretty good. I'm gonna go back right to where I think I can really strike from. That was super lucky, and we'll see what that looks like.
I'm just gonna do it. I'm on 40 and a half. This ball is really strong. I like the angles. You just need to match it up with the right speed.
Hey, so
Nice.
I went to your territory. On your next shot, you got to go to my territory and see what that looks like. Standing at like 26, 27. You down for that?
We can do that.
All right, so I'm not going to be slow hooking it again. I'm going to go to like 28, 29 with my feet. I do slide a little bit right. But again, my goal is like 8, 9 down lane. And if I do that, I think it's going to strike every time. Oh. That's the first shot that I get right, and it hooks. It was a super light mixer, but you guys know I love my light mixers. That tells me that the pattern is breaking down a little bit. And what I like is that it didn't roll forward. It actually came around it. It wasn't angular at all. That's not what I'm saying. But it didn't want to just die and roll forward. It actually continued a little bit. All right, so I can play where Jeff plays. Now we're going to see if Jeff can play where I play.
All right, even 25. We're gonna be rolling this up the right side, fellas.
Oh!
It's a super early ball.
5 pin in the chat. 5 pin in the chat.
Super early ball, so this is a bad combination
It's not
for
gonna
me.
be.
I could try again with. We're looking at about 36 with the feet. Again, it is left of 35 is where it's striking. And that zone is about 16, 15 board.
Hey!
Oh, took it out.
I think you've rolled that like 2 or 3 times now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Took that out a couple times. That's my typical angles. And boy, oh boy, this is a really strong symmetrical. I told you guys.
All right, this is going to be my last shot of the video, and this is going to be like my ideal line, I think, with this ball. I am a little further left, I think, than what is ideal, but I'm playing what the lanes are giving me, and this is my ideal line right here. Yeah, that is, if it does that, I think that it's going to be a really good ball. And I think that as I got more and more shots on it, got a little bit more oil on the cover, it stopped being as early and started being a little bit rounder instead of more forward. So I think that if I was going to drill one of these for a house shot, I think a 5-inch pin I think would be perfect. Just make sure you get a little oil on the cover. Jeff, come over here.
You got it, buddy.
All right. So this is the end of the video. I just want to say thank you to you, Jeff.
Shake and bake.
Shake and bake, that's right. If you ain't first, you last. So if you guys want to see Jeff in more videos, there's 2 ways that you could do it. 1, comment down below and let us know you want Jeff. And 2, smash that subscribe button. And follow him on Hebrew Hammer 300 on Instagram. What about TikTok? Same thing?
Yes, the Hebrew Hammer Bowling on TikTok, if you hit me up there.
There you go. You have a YouTube channel or not yet?
We do. Hebrew Hammer 300 is the channel.
There we go. There we go. I'll link it down below for sure. Finish.